Good morning. Hello, my name is Monica Robledo Jordan. Today you will hear stories, or you've heard stories today that share many details with the story of my abortion and the two abortions that followed it. 31 years ago, Las Cruces, New Mexico was my hometown. I loved the fresh air and the beautiful Oregon mountains. I craved it all, from the authentic Hispanic food to the rich artistic history. When I look back to Las Cruces, I now remember it for its beauty and serenity. There is where the story of my abortion began. When I was 6 years old, I was molested by a family member and neighborhood boys. Because of this, my childhood changed. I became increasingly experimental with sex, looking for something to fill a void within me. In high school, my boyfriend and I thought we could have an adult relationship at the age of 16. But the loss of my virginity only created a deep insecurity that I would lose him. When he proposed on prom night of my senior year, I was ecstatic. I thought nothing could go wrong, but we were not prepared for a pregnancy. When I had a positive pregnancy test, we asked a friend for advice. She was a teen mother and she suggested abortion. She gave us the phone number and the address of the clinic. These abortion memories are permanently etched in my brain. The oven mittens for stirrups on the operation table, the poster on the ceiling for a focal point during the abortion, the sound of the suction machine. I felt alone in the decision, in the pain, and in the loss. With the loss of life, I felt the loss of my own soul. Dark years followed. While I was running from my deep loss, I was very promiscuous and lived a dangerous, unprotected sex life. This led to my second abortion. On that day, my own self-worth and my respect for any life was tainted. My life plummeted. I lost my self-respect and all my personal dignity. I masked every feeling through the use of men in my relationships. I asked myself, what mask will I wear tonight? Happy on the outside, feeling empty on the inside. Out of all this turmoil, there came a third pregnancy, which led to the most traumatic abortion procedure. Darkness took over. It almost conquered my life. Grace entered my life when I became involved with a man who later became my husband. Again, we found ourselves pregnant in spite of using contraceptives, but this time it was different. I confided in my mother. After a long period of silence, she said, I know what you're thinking. It stops here. Conquering darkness, we chose life. My daughter Alina was born November 7th, 2000. I was terrified, blessed, and ashamed all at the same time. Along with my daughter Alina, on the night of her birth, I lay there and wondered how God could bless me with something so pure to something so defiled and unworthy as me. Alina's grace and love for me shined through the cracks in my emotional wall. God chose my precious Alina, as is told, to unknowingly save her own mother. Trials came for my husband and me. We were having many difficulties, everything from financial hardships to basic communication, intimacy, and health challenges. I had a scheduled surgery to remove my gallbladder, which was infected. 2 weeks after my surgery, I found out I was pregnant. My husband shared this news with his family, and I was asked to consider the option to abort my son. In my husband's upbringing, if we couldn't afford or didn't have the financial means to support the family, it would not be wise to have more children. I decided to choose life and fought for my son, who was born July 27, 2003. Thank you. My whole reason for living had changed, and I knew it was time for me to seek healing from the abortions. Several studies, along with attending Rachel's Vineyard, there began God's major open heart surgery. When I look back at my life, I can see the ripple effects of my decisions. My every action has caused a shock wave that has greatly impacted my husband and living children. My living children, my daughter Alina and son Devin, at 13 and 10 years old, are respectively have experienced the loss of 3 siblings. They long for what could have been and wish I would have been strong enough to choose life. My husband didn't judge or condemn me when I shared my abortion decisions. He has experienced firsthand what post-trauma looks like in his wife. When I didn't think I deserved to live, God blessed me with a man who would help me out of bed. My husband has stood by me, walking through minefields of my trauma. God's light, unfailing love, and grace have poured out into my life. I am thankful that I am not alone in the healing process. For me, God guides my path with each healing moment I embrace. This journey has only begun. The trauma is overwhelming, and I can come and go as you least expect it. God is my healer, my restorer. I pray that in my story you will find some peace and seek help to begin your own healing journey. I will pray for all of us who have been affected by abortion. God bless you all, and I am silent no more.